Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot. For today's pick a card reading, we have a little bit more of a mysterious, secretive topic, which, as you can see by the title down below, is Unveiling Something Hidden to You. So this could cover any area of your life. We could be talking about friendships, family, romance, career. We could talk about, spiritual growth might come up, something about your dreams or your goals, maybe a little bit of a future prediction, maybe even something, hidden about yourself that you don't quite recognize yet, or it's been a little bit tucked away. So without further ado, let's pick our piles. For pile number 1, I have Big Bold Vision number 15 over here on the left. For pile number 2, I have Going Beyond Normal number 14 here in the middle. And for pile number 3, I have Defend to the End the Worthwhile number 23 over here on the right. So just a quick refresher. Pile number 1's over here, we have Big Bold Vision. Pile number 2's Going Beyond Normal. And pile number 3 is Defend to the End the Worthwhile. Feel free to pause on this part of the video if you still haven't decided which pile you would like read to you yet, or which one, see which one calls to you the most. Either way, whenever you're ready though, drop down to the description box down below, or the top pinned comment underneath the video. Click on the timestamp for your reading, and I will see you in our discussion about Unveiling Something Hidden to You. Bye. Hello there, my lovely pile number 1's. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of Unveiling Something Hidden to You. As you recall from the intro, the card used to pick your pile was Big Bold Vision number 15. Very gorgeous imagery in this card. Of course, the whole deck is gorgeous, but this card is always, I like the gold aesthetic. We have a bee here and a scarab. A lot of kind of Egyptian symbolism in this card. A little bit of throat chakra, a little bit of crown chakra, seeing, speaking, right? So as always, we'll put your pile leader down to the left here. This reading will be in 2 different sections. First, we're going to talk about what it is that's actually hidden from you, pile 1's, and then the second section will be some advice on how to kind of deal with it or how to go forward with that information, just in general, what the universe, your spirit guides, spirit in general, whatever you prefer for what you call above, right? Help from above, I guess I should word it that way, on how to go forward with the information that you learned in this video, okay? So I'm going to split the cards. These 3 are a part of what's actually going on, and then these 3 at the end will be part of the advice, so we'll just set those down here with me for now. So I also have some tarot cards from Tarot for the Great Outdoors. I'm going to use this deck again today. Spirit, for my lovely pile number 1's, could you tell me more about what's actually going on? What's hidden from them that you would like to unveil? Oh, okay, well there's one. We have, it looks like the King of Wands. Usually I kind of like to reveal them later, but spoiler alert, you got the King of Wands, or Styx as it's known in this deck. We'll just set that down here. And then, let's see, number 2, 3, 4, and I think that one right there, 5. Okay. All right, let's unveil what's hidden from you, pile number 1's. Okay, first up, your Oracle cards. Your Sacred Destiny Oracle for today is Openness. Okay, we have the moon, some constellations around here. I see, looks like Pisces with the 2 fish. We have Gemini, I know that one. I believe that's Leo right there. Pretty sure that's Sagittarius, so I typically, whenever I look at the sky, I see Sagittarius more as like a teapot kind of looking constellation. But so Openness, as you can kind of see on the tin, is about being open to something becoming clear, especially, earlier we saw more about like third eye chakra right here with your pile leader, and then throat chakra, that's about being clear about something, seeing things, seeing things clearly, which is pretty dang fitting for a reading about unveiling something hidden to you. We'll see what pops out before I say anything conclusive though with your other cards. Your Woodland Wardens for today is the Bat. The Bat and the Hellebore, I believe is how you pronounce that plant's name. Intuition, which is funny because intuition is often tied to the moon in tarot and other symbology with cartomancy in general. Same thing with Lenormand. I read the moon card is kind of intuition or emotion, right? And then in tarot, the moon is about illusions, okay? Seeing things for what they really are. Even too, we saw with Big Bold Vision is your pile leader is a lot about seeing something. And then, you know, when you think about bats too, bats usually aren't very good with their sight, hence the phrase blind as a bat. What they do is they call out, and sonically they hear from the echoes that bounce off from their cries on, like, say, a cave wall, how to, like, navigate things. So there's something about sending information out there, navigating, seeing things for what they truly are is kind of the theme I'm getting so far for this reading. I'm actually going to set this. We're going to shuffle around. I always apologize to my pile ones because you're kind of my guinea pigs for the setup of the readings. Okay, now we have our setup. And then your Pastoral Tarot is the Four of Pentacles. We have someone with some hay bales. Four of Pentacles traditionally in tarot is all about withholding something. Being stingy can be another word or phrase for that, and more of a negative connotation. Specifically here with the imagery of the hay bales, you know, we think of holding back material for a later time. Being careful with our resources, okay? And then let's see what your tarot cards have to say. So, of course, we saw the King of Wands earlier. That'll be the first one down. It's on the bottom. We also have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is feeling trapped. Okay, feeling trapped in something. Maybe there's an area of your life where you're feeling a little bit stuck. Clearing paths, right? We have the High Priestess reversed, which is funny because the High Priestess is all about intuition as well, which you got with your Bat card. High Priestess reversed, however, is about not listening to your intuition enough. Okay, so we have a theme going here, even with the moon too. You have a moon in this card as well. High Priestess typically has a traditional depiction as, I don't know if you call it a diadem or a crown, but it's like a moon on her forehead. We have the Five of Blades or Five of Swords reversed. Five of Swords is typically about a mental battle of some sort, maybe even verbal words clashing, verbally fighting with other people, okay? Especially because swords, not suits, are the suit of air, which is communication in tarot, right? Reversed, it's kind of a negative connotation or asking for more of something. We'll see what else pops out before I give a conclusive message, though. We have the Three of Swords. A lot of swords, okay. Three of Swords is all about pain. Traditional depiction of this card is a heart with swords being pierced through it. Okay, specifically this depiction, though, is a little bit more happy with this deck. They're skiing along. Okay. And then last but not least, we have the King of Wands we saw earlier, King of Sticks. Fire energy. External manifestation of charisma, confidence, or passion. Mastery of the suit of fire, which is mastery of your passions, creativity, things like that. Confidence. Okay, so let me get my ducks in a row, pile number ones, and what's going on here with your reading, okay? Apologies if some of the cards cover each other just a little bit. Just remember that this over here with the moon is openness. Okay, that was the title for that card. Okay, so what's going on? What's hidden from you, pile number ones? So we do have a theme about holding something back with the Four of Pentacles. We do have a lot about seeing something for what it truly is, and intuition is a major, major theme here. Feeling trapped in some way with the Eight of Swords, some pain. Okay, so intuitively, pile number ones, it just clicked. There's something going on here with the way someone said something to you. And the reason I say that is because you have the Five of Swords in the middle of the tarot cards that came forward for you, okay? There's something about the way something was communicated to you that was there was a lot more to it than what you expected or what was conveyed, especially in conjunction with the Four of Pentacles, because that's about like holding something back for later. And I think it caused you some pain because of the Three of Swords. That is usually the card of pain. It caused you to feel a little bit trapped in some way with the Eight of Swords over here on the left that first came out, right? And you're not really sure about how to interpret it, though. which I know sounds strange because I just said it. I think it hurt you when it was said, or whenever this thing was understated, maybe is a better way to put that. But there's still confusion about, well, did they really mean it that way? You know, did I maybe just, am I too sensitive? Did I maybe misinterpret a little bit? You know, or are they really holding back? Did they mean something more out of what they said to me? I get the feeling that it was either something to do with, intuitively I'm being told it's either about someone at work said this thing, or someone that you work on with things. It could even be, you know, maybe a community project you work on together, some sort of group setting, but it's one specific person in this group setting that said this thing to you, okay? And so you are kind of pinging out like the bat. You're kind of saying, you know, sending things out and kind of testing the waters of, you know, maybe even you ask other people in the group and saying, like, you know, this person said this to me, like, how would you interpret that? Or maybe you go to your best friend or a family member or, you know, your partner if you have one, and you're like, you know, this person said this to me and I really don't know how to interpret that. How would you interpret that? Okay. And I think what's going on is you're getting a lot of different answers, and it's causing you a lot of anguish and anxiety, especially with that Three of Swords and, you know, the Eight of Swords being like the card of being trapped, right? It's like you can't really go forward with this person into the future with confidence, hence the King of Wands. He's the card of confidence, right? The mastery of confidence and charisma, right? Because there's so much confusion and anxiety over what, excuse me, what was actually conveyed or what was meant to be conveyed, okay? However, pile number ones, the major theme I am getting from these cards, because not only did you get big, bold vision with third eye chakra, right? Which is me, like, seeing things clearly, right? You got intuition with the bat and hellebore. You also got openness with the moon, and the moon is traditionally a symbol of intuition in tarot. You also got the high priestess itself reversed. Many, 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 many cards about intuition and listening to yourself and knowing that you're seeing something clearly, okay? What Spirit is saying to you, pile number ones, is whatever your gut instinct is about what this person said, to listen to it, especially because with the High Priestess reversed, I typically see that in readings where we're not listening to ourselves enough, okay? That too, like, on top of that, it could also be that maybe they said something to you that knocked your confidence, or it knocked your belief in yourself in some way. And what Spirit is also saying is a double meaning with that High Priestess reversed here is to listen to yourself and listen to the way that you see things rather than the way this other person saw things. So, like, just for example, a more tangible example here. Perhaps, you know, let's say it was a work setting and you did a project or a presentation, let's just say, and you said a certain thing, and afterwards that person came up to you and said, oh, hey, I think the way you said that was wrong. I think it really conveyed something that you didn't mean, blah, 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 like kind of dinging your confidence a little bit, which constructive criticism is great most of the time when it's coming from a place of construction, of building you up, right? Of helping you, giving you a better foundation for the future just by pointing something out. Constructive criticism can be fantastic, but I think what's going on is that this person may have intended it a little bit more in a prickly way, is what I'm feeling. Or whatever your gut instinct deep down is, pile number ones, on how you initially interpreted it, is what Spirit is saying for you to listen to, and then also not to listen to that other person and listen to what you feel deep down. Because if you really analyze, like, let's just keep going with the presentation example, if you really analyze what you said that person in this metaphorical example pointed out, and you're pretty dang sure that there's nothing that would have been offensive or bad about it, then I think you should trust yourself, pile number ones, because you got so many cards about being able to see things clearly and listening to yourself more. I think especially with the Four of Pentacles here and the Three of Swords is about pain, right? I think the person may have said it more in an intention to inflict pain and withholding information in terms with this Four of Pentacles, withholding information or being kind of vague about it because they wanted you to fill in the gaps with anxiety and worry. Like, I'm not saying they're a bad person, pile number ones, maybe they are, but there's not, the feeling I'm getting from this reading is whatever this person said to you, they didn't say it with the most pure intentions in mind, okay? It wasn't constructive criticism. Maybe they were just having a bad day and they were taking it out on you. Maybe they were, worried about their own presentation in comparison to yours or something. Just as an example, and then they thought that they fell short compared to yours, okay? Maybe they're just really overly opinionated and maybe they got offended about something, but perhaps they're too sensitive and they just took it the completely wrong way, okay? Of course, you want to keep in mind, making sure that when you do things that it's, with every audience in mind in terms of how you word things. Of course, we all do that. But, what I'm getting from you, pile number ones, is I don't think, like, you ever would have had a bad intention in mind with whatever it was that you did. Like, I don't think there was any bad intention in it behind what you did. It's just that the other person is misinterpreting it, or it's like they're misinterpreting on purpose to be a little bit more combative, to kind of trap you a little bit. There can maybe even be a little, like, just a little hint of jealousy here. Maybe they thought you looked better than them in terms of the way you did something versus how they did something. That's the feeling I'm getting from this reading, okay? So, just keep in mind, pile number ones, whatever your gut instinct is with not only the way you intended this that may have been misinterpreted, or your gut instinct in the way of what you thought this person might have been doing when they immediately said this to you, trust that intuition deep, deep inside, okay? Because I think you have the right answer, pile number ones, as to what's really going on here with this particular person. And I think you need to be more confident in yourself in this area because you got the King of Wands, right? The King of Wands is all about being confident in oneself, external mastery of, charisma, of, like I said, confidence, of creativity sometimes is what it means. So be that King of Wands, pile number ones, okay? Know that you came off just fine, okay? It was just this one particular person, I think, had some darker or some not so good intentions in mind when they said this thing to you, okay? So, yeah, if there's especially, and even if it didn't happen immediately in the past before you read or watched this reading, pile number ones, this could have been something that happened even a long time ago that you still kind of anguish about. Maybe it's something you've been ruminating in on your mind a lot and you've just been kind of worrying about it. Like, oh, like, did I say that thing bad? Like, or badly? Like, was I really in the wrong there? And I think the answer for you, pile number ones, is no. So to summarize your reading so far with this first section, the thing that's been hidden from you that Spirit wants to reveal to you is that I'm pretty sure that like I said, the first part is your gut instinct about what this person's intentions were is right, okay? But the second thing that's hidden from you, I think, is that I don't believe that whatever this was as bad as you thought it was in terms of the thing that you said or did that someone misinterpreted incorrectly, okay? Or misinterpreted in general, I should say, because misinterpreted incorrectly is kind of a double, cancels each other out. You know what I meant though, right? Yes, so let's see if there's any other messages I get here before I move on to the advice. We did already kind of talk about some advice here, because part of unveiling what's hidden here is letting you know, or Spirit saying to you, pile number ones, that you weren't in the wrong like maybe you thought you were, okay? Yeah, there's something here with the other person's intentions. I'm going to pull just a few more tarot cards and ask why they did this thing. Like, we do get the Eight of Swords and the Three of Swords, meaning like pain and a little bit of like trapping you in something. But I want to ask what the intentions were of this other person. Spirit, for my pile number ones, could you tell me what were the intentions of this other person in this scenario, please? Maybe 2 cards. What were their intentions for the way, like, why did they say this thing to pile ones? We have this, the 10 of Vessels, which is the 10 of Cups, reversed. Breaking happiness. Okay. That's not a very positive card to get. I don't think they had the best of intentions in mind, like I was saying before. Usually the Ten of Cups is happily ever after, right? Reversed, it's like some trouble in paradise, something taking away from happiness, especially emotionally, because the cups are the emotion suit in tarot. And then this card is the Devil reversed. The Devil is all about the things that bind us, okay? Reversed, it's about freeing something from a cage. I think to interpret these two together, pile number ones, the intentions of this other person were something along the lines of I think they might have harbored some resentment towards you for a long time, and they just didn't feel, they knew that it was incorrect of them to have that resentment towards you because it was unfounded, okay? But they still wanted to vent out some of that toxicity, unfortunately, by freeing it out in a way that they thought they couldn't get a finger pointed at them for the way that they said it. Like it could have been maybe they were envious of you in some way. It could have been maybe they were, maybe you got something that they wanted, and instead of looking at themselves and being like, well, maybe, what did I do wrong to not get that thing? They took it out on you, just general toxic behavior, right? Humans are going to human, right? Whatever it was, they were unhappy with this Ten of Cups reversed, and with the Devil reversed, it's like letting something free. Okay, and also you have bats again here, which is interesting. You got your bat here, and you got bats in the Carlsbad Caverns card here with the Devil reversed. Yeah, it's just they wanted to unload their unhappiness on you, is how I would interpret that in one sentence together, those two cards. Okay, that was their intentions. They were just being toxic buttheads, to put it lightly. So, know that a lot of times when people say things to you, pile number ones, it doesn't always mean that they're right. It doesn't always mean that they have a point. Sometimes people unload things on you just because they're spewing toxicity and you're just the next target in their path. Okay. It's just, unfortunately, we all know people like that in life, right? Where we've met them before. So just know that the reason they did this wasn't you. It was a them problem. Okay. So that's what's been hidden to you. I'm also going to, we did talk about, there's some advice cards here. I want to show you on how to kind of go forward with this. It could be that if this was a long time ago, maybe you're not even around this person anymore, pile number ones. But of course, if it's still bothering you in modern day, maybe Spirit wants to share some advice with you on kind of, healing from it a bit. But yeah, to be blunt, pile number ones, all over this reading, I'm getting this other person was just being, like I said, a toxic butthead. So trust your gut on this, pile ones. Okay, that's what's been hidden from you, is I think, maybe you gave them more of a benefit of the doubt than they deserved. Okay, that's how I would put that. And then, let's see, I'm going to do one more shuffle of the tarot deck here. Excuse me one moment. All right, Spirit, for my lovely pile number ones, could you give me 4 to 5 tarot cards of advice in this area? How to move on from this, how to deal with this, how to heal. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Put some back here. 4, and I'm calling that one right there. 5. Okay, what's going on? Some advice, pile ones. The Oracle cards, we have the power of surrender. We have a surrender to what is. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. Okay, so advice piece number 1, number ones, is accepting that it happened, accepting that it is what it is, accepting that it's a them problem, not a you problem. Okay, I'm personally a very justice-oriented person myself, so when something unjust happens to me, it can haunt me for, years later, and I wish I could change it, so if you're like that too in pile number ones, I completely get that, but sometimes we just have to accept that it happened, and we just have to let it go. It's just so we don't torture ourselves, okay? So that's piece number 1, or advice number 1, I should say. Lantern Oracle is trusting tricksters. Number 6, the trickster's only power is your trust. You are always free to withdraw it. Advice number 2, pile number ones, is if you're still around this person, be wary of trusting them, okay? You know, not only does it say trusting tricksters, right, but we also have a fox. Traditionally, the symbolism of the fox is someone being kind of clever and sneaky, right? Okay. Don't give them your trust. Don't trust in what they said, okay? If they're still in your life, maybe withhold a little bit of your trust from them until maybe they prove trustworthy again, if they ever do. Okay? The only power they can hold over you is your trust if you give it to them, okay? Once again, like I said, I'm getting deception vibes from this person. Okay, so trust your gut instinct. I don't think they had the best intentions in mind when they said that to you, okay? Then your nature's whispers is celebrate differences, number 3, okay? Celebrate differences. Let's see. I'm going to pull your tarot cards out before I comment on that one. Okay. Celebrate differences. Interesting. Oh, it just came to me intuitively. If you have asked other people for their opinions on this pile number once, celebrate the different opinions and objective viewpoints that you've received when you asked for advice on how to interpret what this person said to you, okay? I guarantee you, I think a lot of people probably told you that they couldn't see where this person was coming from and that whatever you did or said was just fine, okay? Look to those other objective viewpoints. Not only trust yourself more with all the intuition that came up earlier, right? But look for those other objective viewpoints and especially listen to those as well, okay? Celebrate those different opinions, okay? Or I shouldn't say different opinions, but opinions from different people, okay? Your tarot cards are the 10 of Stones, 10 of Pentacles reversed. Usually this is the card of legacy, inheritance. Okay, reversed, it's usually about either a lack of legacy or it could mean something about something not passing along or down. Don't inherit their toxicity, and I don't mean that in a way of, oh, don't become this person, because I don't see that for you at all. Just right off the bat, I'm already being told, like, don't let them, because a lot of times, you know, the common saying is hurt people, right? And so a lot of times when someone's trying to be sneaky and not very nice to you, they're just trying to spew their toxicity out on you because they think that's the only way that they can get it out, and they're like, I gotta vent on someone, you know, bleh, and then they toxicity barf on everybody around them. Don't let that negativity infect you as well, at least in terms of your mental well-being based on what this person said, okay? Just completely let it roll off your back like water off a duck's back, okay? We have the Knight of Cups, taking action in terms of emotions. Kind of, I feel like that's similar to the intuition cards we got earlier. How do you feel about this? Because your emotions are a great guide, okay? If whatever that person said didn't make you feel very good and you've analyzed it and you know it wasn't just, you know, a defensiveness, okay? Especially with those other opinions that came into account, those other objective opinions you gathered from the people you trust, right? Follow what your emotions tell you, okay? Page of Sticks, Page of Wands, exploration in terms of creativity, confidence, energy, willpower, okay? That one's interesting. I'm going to see what else pops out before I comment on that one. And then we have the King of Stones, lovely card. King of Pentacles, okay, being secure externally. Don't externally, if this person is still around you, don't externally show that they got to you. I guess how I would interpret that card for this situation, okay? And then intuitively with it just popped out with the Page of Wands here, Page of Sticks, okay? That is... okay, one second. I'm just going to pull this last card and then I just want to make sure that this is correct before I say it. And then we have the Three of Cups. Okay, this is about group settings. Okay. Find, you know, especially if this was a work-related thing, pile number ones, find the people at your work that do support you. Okay. Gather power and strength from a group. Okay, and then especially what I was going to say before, that Page of Wands tells me that part of your advice too is not to let whatever this person said ding your confidence in terms of the way you have willpower for whatever the thing is that you did that they criticized, okay? Or your creativity or your passionate spark for it, okay? Keep being adventurous in this area. Don't let what they said get you down and dim your light in terms of your passion for whatever this was, okay? So just to summarize your reading really quick, pile number ones, the thing that was hidden to you was the actual intentions of whatever this person said to you. I think they had a lot more negative intentions than you thought. Even maybe deep down, though, you kind of felt like, I'm not so sure about what this person intended this by saying this thing to me or doing this thing to me, right? And your advice here is be externally secure. Don't let it dim your spark or your light. Use your emotions as a guidepost, okay? Gather, power and strength from your friends, from your group at work. Maybe it's kind of a work-related thing. Celebrate the other objective opinions that they've given you on this situation, especially if a lot of them have said, I wouldn't really listen to what that person said, okay? And don't let them spew their toxicity on you, or I shouldn't say don't let them, because it's not like it's your fault, right? But don't let them dim your light, especially with that Ten of Pentacles reverse. That's all about not inheriting something, okay? So as always, pile number ones, I hope that reading was helpful for you. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, my lovely pile number twos. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of unveiling something hidden to you. As you recall, the card used to pick your pile leader was Going Beyond Normal, number 14. We have someone who's getting an idea here, thinking in different layers, broadcasting it out in waves, thinking beyond the normal boundaries of how you think about something or where you get your ideas from is kind of a theme I'm seeing here, at least with this card. But before I get too in the weeds on that, I'm going to set your pile leader over to the left here. This reading will be in two different sections. Section 1, with the first 3 cards here, will be talking about what it is that's actually hidden from you. And then these 3 cards we'll talk about more at the end, are advice on what to do with this information of this area of your life that we're unveiling in the first part of the reading. Okay, so I'll just set these down here with me. And then as always, we have tarot cards to draw. Excuse me while I move my chair. It's going to get some chair noises. Okay. Spirit, for my lovely pile number twos, could you give me 5 cards explaining more about what's hidden from them, please? Okay, we have 1 card that popped out, the Queen of Stones, which is the Queen of Pentacles in most decks. Bit of a spoiler alert, we'll just set that back down. Okay. And then number 2, 3, 4, and feeling that one, 5. So, Queen of Pentacles energy already. Lovely. Internal mastery of the physical. Okay. First up, your oracle cards. We have the Sacred Destiny Oracle. You received transformation with the butterfly. Butterflies often mean, well, like it says, transformation, rebirth. Changing from one phase into another, like the butterfly does from caterpillar into the cocoon into the butterfly, right? Okay. And then we have, actually, I'm going to switch your cards around a bit. Set that one down here. The Woodland Wardens Oracle. We have the Quail and the Gooseberry with anticipation, being excited for something, waiting for something, okay? I always love those little, I don't know what they're called. I think, are they called wattles? Maybe I'm thinking of turkeys, but the little feather they've got in their head is so cute. So anticipation, being excited about something. Thinking of ideas, transformation, interesting. Your Pastoral Tarot is Temperance. This is all about moderation and balance in life, okay? Moderation and balance. I love how the water just sparkles. It's so pretty. That whole deck overall is just gorgeous, of course, but... Okay, and let's flip over your tarot cards. First up, we have the 9 of Vessels or Cups. 9 of Cups is all about being satisfied, maybe being a little smug about something. Kind of wishes fulfilled is another interpretation of that card. I always say it's the smug card because in the traditional depiction of it, the guy is crossing his arms and he looks pretty smug about things. Usually a pretty good card to get, right? Lovely. Card number 2, the Moon. We have illusions. What's real? What's not? What's the fox? What's the wolf? Or traditionally, what's the dog and what's the wolf? Okay, what's a threat? What's not? What's real? What isn't? So we have wishes fulfilled, illusions. Interesting. Balance. Fascinating. Okay. Then we have the Knight of Sticks or Knight of Wands. taking action in terms of the element of fire, which is creativity, passion, willpower, charisma. Taking action with passion. Okay. Interesting. Something funky here. I don't mean that in a negative way, but intuitively something funky. All right, and then we have death, which isn't scary. Death in tarot actually means rebirth, so we have kind of a double theme here with the butterfly and death. Kind of pretty much mean the same thing. It's a transformation, right? Death isn't the end. Death is a doorway. Okay? Yeah, that's kind of lining up with that intuitive thing I saw earlier. I'll talk about that in a second before I get too far in the weeds, but... And last but not least, we have that Queen of Pentacles we saw earlier that flipped out. Spoiler alert. Queen of Pentacles is internal security. Could mean money. Could mean feeling secure in what you have, right? We have someone that has the, I can't remember what they're called, but when you rock climb, it's basically the safety harness. Is that what it's called? Safety harness. Make sure you don't fall and, break a leg. So she's teaching them. This is how you make sure your safety line is good, which is great for the Queen of Pentacles, right? Because it's all about internal security. Feeling secure. Okay, so pile number 2 is what's going on here. The intuitive thing that was popping out as I was pulling your cards was there's some sort of idea that you've had that is going to be different than you thought it would be. And I know that sounds very vague, but kind of the lines I'm thinking of is it's like you had the idea for something, and it could be that you're at the point of you've kind of tossed that idea in the bin, or you've kind of shelved it for now, and you're like, I'm not so sure, that this would work out. I'm not really sure that's going to go anywhere. I'm not sure if I want to go forward with that idea, right? But there's something about it that's going to transform. It's going to take new shape. It's going to become something that you didn't expect it would be and turn into something else. And I'm getting a pretty positive vibe. So I don't mean this in terms like of a negative, like, oh, you have an idea and it's going to go, right in the trash and it's not going to work out. Like, so nothing negative like that. It's more something along the lines of it's going to take shape or take a form that you didn't expect, okay? That's what's being hidden from you. Okay, so let's glean some more details on that. I'm going to adjust my chair again. I'm going to cross my legs. Excuse me if you hear my squeaky chair in the background. It needs some grease on the mechanics of it. And the reason I say that, pile number 2, is because not only do you have the card of the moon, right? The moon is all about illusions, okay? Something not being what it seems. We also have death and transformation with your sacred destiny over here with that butterfly we saw earlier, I should say, which is, like I said, they're kind of meaning the same thing. It's a rebirth of something. It's a doorway, not an end, okay? It's something transforming into something new, like, the caterpillar does the butterfly through a cocoon. So you have a lot of that imagery of it's more than you expect, or it's going to be different than you expect. And I'm seeing a positive vibe for this. Like I said earlier, it's not something scary. You got the 9 of Cups, which is, the wishes fulfilled card is how I always traditionally was taught to interpret the 9 of Cups. It's about emotional fulfillment with something, right? Not quite the happily ever after like the 10 of Cups is, at least in terms of everything around you being sunshine and rainbows. But with this particular thing, I'm not saying that your life won't be sunshine and rainbows, but you know what I mean? With this particular thing, though, the 9 of Cups, it's like, another depiction I often see with the 9 of Cups is, like flipping a coin into the well and your wish coming true, okay? Which I know sounds extreme for your tarot reading, but there's just a lot of positive energy coming off of this, okay? So whatever this idea is that you have, pile number 2s, it's going to become something that you're not expecting. It's going to be, even with your pile leader going beyond normal here, we see her with the bulb over her head, and it's like things are radiating out farther than they expected. It could be that you have a project you're working on that's going to make waves that you don't even know what how far it's going to reach, but it's going to reach a lot farther than you expected. It could be if this is a creative project, you know, say if you're like a writer or an artist, there's a piece you're going to be working on or a novel that finds a lot more success than you're expecting, okay, something like that, and you're excited for it. I think you're already pretty confident about it. You have anticipation here with the quail and gooseberry, right? You're excited for it, and you're like, oh, I'm pretty confident in this, especially too with that Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is about taking action in terms of passion, okay? Like you're already excited for it. It's just that it's going to take shape, like I said, in a way you don't expect, okay? And to summarize, like I said, I think it's going to be a lot more successful and it's going to reach a lot more, or there's going to be a bigger impact in whatever this idea is that you have than you ever could have imagined, is kind of what I'm seeing, okay? And temperance is interesting. Temperance, like I said, is all about balance and moderation, okay? I think maybe you're a little bit too humble about this thing, pile number twos. And not as a criticism, okay? I think maybe you're just naturally a humble person, okay? Maybe that's why you're not even really seeing the extent of the value or the effect that this, whatever this idea is that you have, will have. Maybe because you're just, you know, you're the type of person I'm getting that you kind of is emblematic of temperance, like balance and everything, moderation and everything, humility, that type of thing. Like, yes, you're excited about it, especially with that Knight of Wands or Sticks here, but it's going to just take a shape that you never could have imagined, okay? And I want to ask, I'm going to pull some more tarot cards for you, pile number two, like exactly what about it is going to be different than what you're expecting. That's what I want to know. I think mainly I'm saying it's going to be more successful than you're expecting, but I just want to get a guarantee on that with your tarot cards here. I'll pull those in a second. Two, with the Queen of Stones, Queen of Pentacles, internal security. It could be that it even brings a lot more belief in yourself in terms of maybe using this as a way of monetary security, especially with the Queen of like Pentacles, or like the material suit, right? It's earth, the things that are around us, money, that type of thing. Yeah. But let me pull those tarot cards here. A Spirit, for my lovely pile number twos, could you give me two cards explaining why it's different than what they're expecting it will be? What's the quality of that? Two cards, please. Okay, definitely that one. And that one's popping out. Okay. Why is it different? So the first one was oh, lovely. Remember I said earlier that the Nine of Cups isn't quite as happily ever after as the Ten of Cups? Well, you just got the Ten of Cups, pile number two, so okay. Whatever this is, literally sunshine and rainbows. Okay, you literally have a rainbow in the card. I can't, you know. And usually I don't promise, excuse the pun, I don't promise the moon in my readings, because just in life, you know, super fantastic things don't always happen that often, but I'm saying something really super fantastic with this. You also have lovely the Eight of Swords reversed, or Eight of Blades reversed, freeing yourself, okay? Eight of Swords is usually about being like you feel trapped in something. Reversed, it's like, I finally freed myself. I'm free from whatever was blocking my path, like these trees are blocking the path in this card. Really, really positive outcome, pile number twos. This is probably, oh god, this has to be one of the most fantastic outcome readings I've ever had, and I'm not kidding you. Not that you can view all of my readings, because that would, I don't know, there's about 30-something of them right now, but literally, those of you who watched me before, this is rare, something this happy and positive, so fantastic news for you, pile number twos, okay? Believe in the success of whatever this idea is, okay? It's going to reach a lot farther than you're expecting. You literally have one of the happiest cards in the decks here with Ten of Cups. Happily ever after is what I say with this card is, okay? Literally rainbows, right? And it's freeing yourself, freeing up room for happiness. Oh, this is lovely. Before I move on to your advice cards, let me just make sure there aren't any other messages, though. I mean, yeah, I would say, so the question I asked when I pulled these cards was, Spirit, can you tell me what's the actual quality of how this will be different than what pile number two is expecting? And the quality is literally, it's going to be a lot more successful than you expect, okay? A lot more, especially emotionally fulfilling, but you did get that Queen of Pentacles before, which is a great card to get in terms of material security, okay? Fantastic. You know, too, with your quail, anticipation. I think Spirit wants you to be even more excited for it than you are. Maybe right now you have that humility thing going on. You're kind of like, oh, we'll just see how, you know, this goes. And put that out there and see what, you know, what happens. Do it. Okay? Do not hesitate. You're getting really great vibes. Fantastic, pile number 2s. Do not hesitate whatsoever. You're going to have a great time with it, whatever this is, okay? Okay, so let's get on to the advice part of your reading. I mean, the advice already is, congrats, something's going to go fantastic. But, okay, maybe some advice on the way there, of course, is always helpful. Lovely. Yeah, this is probably the most positive reading I have ever done on this channel. So happy, happy, happy news to you, pile number 2s. You know, I'm a real reader. I always try to keep it real. You know, negative cards come up, I interpret them, you know, even if people don't necessarily want to hear negative things, I always try to, you know, keep it real, right? But this, it goes the other way too. Whenever positive thing comes up, or excuse me, positive things come up, you know I'm being real about it. So yes, do not hesitate with whatever this is. I beg of you. Okay. Spirit for my lovely pile number 2s. Could you give me 5 cards explaining more about advice in this area for them? Other than congrats. Of course. 5 cards, please. Okay, what's poppin'? Definitely that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm feeling that one right here. Oh, well, we got an extra one. Number 6. Hey, it's popping. I'm not going to deny it. Lovely pile number 2s. Okay, oracle cards. Advice. Surrender to creativity. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Pile number 2s. Big flashing neon sign in your face from Spirit. Do not withhold this idea. Put it out there in the world, okay? Do not be ashamed or afraid. You are getting big flashing neon signs. Do it. Like Nike, just do it, right? Probably a creative project of some sort, especially with surrender to creativity, right? But creativity can take many forms. It doesn't necessarily mean, you know, writing, art, etc., music. But if it is, do it. Let's see. Lantern Oracle, misalignment. Miracles become normal once we face all aspects of our life in the same direction. Interesting. We'll see what other cards pop out before I say more on what that advice means. That one needs a little bit more context. Then your Nature's Whispers. Perfect setting. A lot about art. I don't know if you're an artist of some sort. Perfect setting is all about, you know, a better way to describe this card is kind of like, you know, when you're planting something, which is funny. I planted onions today. Gardening season, right? But when you're planting things, is one thing you have to make sure of is making sure that you have the right soil, you have the right temperature for it to germinate, right? The seeds, right amount of water, depending on the plant. This card is about making sure you have the perfect setting, or fertile ground maybe is a better word for what it is you're trying to create. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. And then let's see what your other cards say. We did get 6 cards, so I might have run out of some room with my limited space, but we'll see. This is the 6th card that popped out. We have the Ace of Sticks or Wands, Ace of Wands. Especially reversed is like feeling like you lack an idea or lack a passion in some sort. Okay. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm going to set that up here next to surrender to creativity, because it actually kind of means the same thing, right? Then we have Ace of Blades. Lots of aces. Okay, Ace of Swords. Reversed is feeling like we lack. I should rephrase that. Ace of Wands is less about ideas. It's more about like the spark of passion. Blades is the air suit, or swords. It's more like feeling you lack an idea, or lack of feeling like the way that you can convey something through communication. Okay. Then we have the Star. Have hope. Having hope in something. Having faith in something. Lovely. 2 of Stones or Pentacles reversed. Feeling imbalanced in some way, which is interesting. You've got Temperance earlier. Temperance is all about balance and moderation, right? Feeling imbalanced in some way. Okay. Then you got the King of Wands reversed. King of Wands reversed is feeling, or well, asking for more confidence in something. Okay. And last but not least, we have the 3 of Cups reversed. Three of Cups is typically about groups of people, social groups, gatherings. Reversed, it's more about maybe a time of more isolation or not relying on a group, or maybe some group dynamic at play. Okay. So pile number 2 is advice in this area. Number 1, flashing neon sign. We already talked about it. Do not be afraid to be creative. Do not be afraid to put your ideas or creativity out there, okay? You are getting a lot of signs that it would be very, very, very good of you to go through with this idea, okay? In terms of security physically, materially, and in terms of emotional fulfillment. Okay, we saw that earlier with that 10 of Cups that popped out, right? Same thing with, and it's interesting, you got the Ace of Wands reversed. That card, like I said, is about feeling like there's a spark of something, or reversed, it's like feeling like you lack a spark of something. I think that humility thing I was talking about earlier, it ties a lot, I think, with the Ace of Blades and that Ace of Wands there, is I think you don't believe in it enough. I think you don't believe that it has as much passion or spark or as much merit to it as it actually does. I think maybe that's why you haven't released it yet into the world, pile number 2s. Okay. But reversals oftentimes are asking for more of that energy. So that's just asking for more confidence, especially too with that King of Wands here. Reversed is asking for more confidence in these things. Okay. Be more confident about it. All right. Have hope and faith in what this is. That's what the star means. Having hope, right? Believe in yourself, pile number 2s. Believe in this idea. Okay. That's advice number, roughly, I think that's advice number 3 now, based on the other cards. Now, interestingly, though, you got the 2 of Stones reversed, or 2 Pentacles reversed. I'm going to take a drink 1 second. My voice is getting a bit scratchy. Apologies. 2 of Pentacles reversed, okay? That's all about imbalance, or feeling like we're imbalanced in some way. Interestingly, you got that next to misalignment. Miracles become normal once we face all aspects of our life in the same direction. I think one piece of advice here with those 2 cards, even combined with perfect setting, we were talking about when you grow a seed, making sure you have the right soil, temperature, light, water. I think you would need to invest more in whatever this is. Not just in terms of believing in it, pile number 2s. I think Spirit, one piece of advice is investing more time into it. Okay, I think maybe you're putting it a little bit more on the back burner than Spirit is suggesting. Spirit suggests that you should put more effort into it, or not effort in terms of do better. It doesn't mean it that way. More effort in terms of actual focus, okay? So I think maybe because maybe you didn't really believe in the merit of it enough, maybe you haven't just invested as much time into it, but Spirit is saying, as a piece of advice, realign with it a little bit more with misalignment here. And the 2 of Pentacles reversed, okay? Have more confidence in it, like we talked about before. Have more faith in it with the star. And then the 3 of Cups reversed is interesting. Like I said, 3 of Cups, or vessels, is usually about group dynamics. Reversed, social gathering, right? Reverse, it's more about either a negative social gathering, or it can mean a negative group dynamic, or maybe being more isolated from a group. So in terms of advice, I would say that's intuitively what I'm seeing is, especially in tandem with perfect setting, there's something about a group that you're in that maybe has held this idea back a little bit more than it should have been held back. I don't know if it's something it really depends on what this idea is for you, pile number 2s, but let's just say, for example, that this was a book that you pitched to an agent or an editor, just for an example, right? And that particular group or that publishing company said, we don't really like this idea. We don't think it's good enough. Okay. So maybe that's what's kind of dinged your confidence in it. So maybe that's why you put it on the back burner. What that card is saying, though, with that 3 of Cups reversed, is to pitch it to a different group, at least with the book example. Same thing with, I'm not as familiar with the music industry, but say it is a song, okay? Maybe your agent or manager, I'm not sure how this works in the music industry, I'm a little bit blind in this area, said, I don't know if we really like this song. Maybe try it again, or try it with a different audience, maybe if you're self-publishing things, right? to summarize is if you have gotten rejection before with this idea pile number 2s, it wasn't because of the actual value or merit of the idea, it was because of the audience or the group that it was presented to with that 3 of Cups reversed here, okay? Same thing too if you maybe you're in a group of creative people, okay, that do something similar to what this idea is related to, and maybe like you brought it up to them and you're like, hey, what do you guys think about this? And they were kind of like, I don't know. Spirit is saying is not to listen to that group, okay? Because there's a lot more merit and value to it than what you think it is. It's going to become a lot more than what you think it will be, okay? So to summarize your reading pile number 2s, whatever this idea is, don't put it on the back burner. Don't give up on it. Put it out there in the universe. Believe in yourself. Have hope and faith in it. And it will do a lot better than you're expecting it will. I mean, like I said, you got the 10 of Cups next to I think it was the 8 of Swords reversed earlier. Freeing yourself up for happiness and emotional fulfillment, okay? Not to be corny, but like Nike, just do it, okay? Like, literally. Big positive, flashing neon sign, do it, okay? Believe in this idea. Because like I said, there's a lot more gold there in what you might think is a dirt pile, okay? So, yeah, that's how I would summarize your reading pile number 2s. So, as always, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. I am glad to have been able to deliver this positive message for you. I love when really positive answers come out. I'm glad to deliver that type of, happy news to you, of course. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, my lovely pile number 3s. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of unveiling something hidden to you. As you recall, the card you used to pick your pile was Defend to the End, the Worthwhile. We have a figure with an owl on her forehead. It kind of reminds me of Athena. Wisdom vibes, right? Knowing what's right for us. Hence the title, Defending to the End, what we know is worthwhile. So we'll see how that meaning manifests with the rest of your reading and your other cards. We'll set your pile leader down to the left here like always. Okay, and this reading will be in 2 different sections. Section number 1 will talk about what it is that's actually hidden from you, so the context, what it is. And section number 2 will be more about advice on how to kind of wrangle with whatever this is or how to go forward with it, things like that. So we'll split your cards. These 3 are about what it is, and then these 3 are the advice. We'll talk about these later. I'll set them down here with me. And we'll pull out some tarot cards. So Spirit, for my lovely pile number 3s, could you explain more about what's been hidden from them? 5 cards, please. Okay, for sure, that one. And that one's popping out. 3, 4, oopsie. And I think that one right there, 5. Okay. Okay, we'll talk about the tarot in a bit. First up, your oracle cards. Sacred Destiny, we have Illumination, something coming to light. Or something becoming clearer, perhaps. Very fitting for a hidden thing reading, right? Sometimes the imagery of reflections in the lake here. Interesting. A lot of black and white imagery here. Then your Woodland Wardens is the Moth and Eucalyptus, an ending. Okay. It is also number 13, which in tarot is the number of death, which isn't scary. In tarot, death is actually typically a positive card. It means a doorway of some sort. It doesn't mean like something coming to finality, okay? So even though this has an ending, don't run away from the tarot reading just yet, because oftentimes an ending is just the beginning of something else, okay? So we'll set that down. Actually, we're going to switch these around. Okay, and then your Pastoral Tarot, we received the 2 of Cups, harmony, relationships, two people, and whether or not they're on the same wavelength. Okay, specifically this one depicts marriage, right? We have, the church in the background and the bride and groom. Okay. All right, and your tarot cards. First up, 9 of Blades. 9 of Swords. Typically, the 9 of Swords represents anxiety or worry, mental anguish about something. Okay. We have the Eight of Pentacles, or Stones reversed. Eight of Pentacles typically is about, having worked on something a lot, putting hard work into something, or structure, effort in something. Reversed, it's either asking for more effort in some way, or not necessarily getting out of something the energy that was put in. Okay. Great example is gardening. You planted seeds. Sometimes you plant a seed and it turns into a dry, dead husk. That's like the Eight of Pentacles reversed, okay? Then we have the Moon reversed. Okay, usually upright, the Moon is about illusions. The Moon reversed is about illusions coming to light, things being made clear. Hence, illumination maybe is a little bit of a tie-in theme here. Okay. Number 4 is the Queen of Wands, or Sticks. Queen of Wands is internal security, excuse me, that was Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Wands is typically about internal creativity, feeling internally confident about something. You can see, she's chopped her wood here, she's feeling pretty good about it. And specifically, it's funny because the wands are the fire suit, and having chopped wood, she has enough material that she's gathered to burn a fire of some sort. Okay. Then we have, last but not least, the Tower reversed. Okay. The Tower is a card in tarot that typically means something needs to fall down that hasn't fallen down yet because it was built on shaky foundations. Reversed is something is being held up that should come down in terms of paving the way for a better future. Okay. So, like I said, don't run from the reading yet, but that's typically what the Tower reversed means. All right, remember this is illumination over here. Apologies, the cards kind of cover each other. So illumination there with the lake. So pile number 3s. What I'm seeing that is hidden from you is, how do I put it? I want to make sure I word this correctly for you, pile number 3s. I'm actually going to adjust in my chair here. Sorry if you hear some squeaky noises as I cross my legs. Definitely there's a relationship involved with that Two of Cups here, pile number 3s, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean a romantic relationship, even though that's the one depicted in that particular card. It can mean just a relationship in general. It can mean with a family member. It can mean a friendship. It can mean, even a relationship that's already passed, okay? It can mean a romantic relationship, like I said, too. There's something about this relationship that will come to light with the Moon reversed. I think there's been a lot of confusion about what the issue is in this relationship, pile number 3s. I think you've already kind of seen either, I don't want to say like the writing on the wall, but you've already kind of seen that all is not well in this particular relationship. And I don't mean, how do I put it? I don't mean that to scare you, pile number 3s. But I do see, you have a lot of cards regarding things coming to an end, okay? The Tower reversed here is about something that needs to fall down that hasn't fallen down yet to pave the way for a better future, okay? So like I said, I don't mean that to scare you. I don't mean that to, make you run away from this reading feeling like, oh no, something bad's gonna happen, oh no. Because, like I said, an ending in tarot, like you have here with your Moth and Eucalyptus, and the Tower itself, they look like bad things on the surface, but really what they are is just, what I said with the Tower earlier, is paving the way for a better future, okay? If this relationship was perfect, it wouldn't have come to this particular end, okay? And by letting go, and how do I put it? There's something that when I was younger, this is just something I want to share with you, pile number 3s. When I was younger, my sister was dating a guy for a few years, okay? And, all was not well in the state of Denmark, as we put it. And even though she wasn't happy in this particular relationship, she was afraid to let go because it was what she knew. She thought she couldn't get better. And my mother said something to her that I still hold on to this very day. And she said to my sister, give yourself the chance for something better. Okay? That's the vibe I'm getting off of this reading for you, pile number 3. So, yes, there is, to summarize, the hidden thing from you. I think you've already kind of seen the writing on the wall. I'm going to take that back from earlier. I'm going to use that actual phrase. I think you've seen the writing on the wall with this particular friendship or relationship, pile number 3s, especially with defend to the end, the worthwhile. I think you're holding on to it. But what Spirit is saying is that this ending is coming, but it's giving yourself the chance for something better, especially because of that tower imagery right there reversed, okay? Things will become clear that will make it all the more like, okay, yeah, I can kind of see this isn't going to turn out the way I expected, okay? I think you've been worrying about it a lot with that 9 of Swords over here, okay? There's been some anxiety about it. I think you already kind of see it, okay? So this reading probably isn't a surprise to you, at least deep, deep down. So, like I said, I don't want you to run away from this reading, especially if you're in a very happy, positive relationship right now. I don't want you to run away from this reading screaming, oh no, it's going to work, it's going to be bad, it's not going to work out right. Look for an area of your life where you already are kind of feeling the seeds of discontentment, okay? Because that's kind of an indicator as to what relationship this is talking about. So, like I said, it doesn't have to be romantic, it can also be a friendship of some sort. You've already kind of seen some signs on the wall, is how I'll put that. And I'm sorry I'm repeating a lot, but when it comes to giving a reading where the answer isn't, rainbows and sunshine, I repeat a lot and I say things certain ways to make sure that you come away from the reading feeling like you have everything in your power and all the advice that you need to tackle this issue in the best way that you can, okay? I want to give you tools to navigate through this, okay? So the hidden quality, or the hidden thing, pile number 3s, is that this particular relationship shown by that 2 of Cups is going to end, but it's going to pave the way for something better. Okay, that's the positive aspect of it. I think, especially too with that 8 of Pentacles reversed, that's like, I put so much effort into this garden. I've tended this garden metaphorically, and I'm just not getting out of it what I put in. I think the major problem with this relationship, pile number 3s, is that you're putting in a lot more effort than the other person has. And that's why it's not working, is because they're not holding up their end of the bargain, okay? So walk away from this reading knowing, too, that I think you did everything you could to make this work out. I think it's just that it wasn't, the other person wasn't holding, like I said, they weren't holding up their end of the bargain, okay? Yeah. So that's the hidden quality, that's the hidden thing from you, is that there's something, there's a sort of doorway closing on this relationship, okay? That's what I'm saying. And, like I'm always really hesitant to deliver messages like this, especially when it comes to relationships or friendships with other people. But like I said, I think you already have kind of gotten a hint that something's not 100% sunshine and rainbows here, okay? So it shouldn't come as a surprise to you, I'm seeing for you, pile number 3s, okay? You've already kind of seen it. Yeah. Though I will say, I feel like there's something more that's going to come to light that's going to make it more solidified in your mind that maybe this isn't working out, especially because you got illumination here, right? That's making something clear, something having light cast upon it, too, with the moon reversed. That's the card of breaking illusions. Something's going to become revealed for what it is, okay? And you're going to realize that, hey, actually, the effort I put into this, I'm not getting everything back out that I was promised, okay? So just keep faith that everything will turn out fine in the end, pile number 3s, okay? I want you to walk away from this reading feeling empowered, okay? Not afraid. Especially maybe if you're already at the point of that it's coming to an end, okay? Or things aren't going to probably work out. Spirit wants to encourage you to feel confident that you did everything you could. It just might have was not meant to be with, either it be a romantic relationship or a platonic friendship, okay? that type of thing. Let me see if there's any other messages here before I switch to the advice section of your reading. Yeah, I always say on my channel, I always keep it real with the cards that come out, okay? So, let's see if there's any other messages. Yep, so Nine of Swords, yep, like I said, is anxiety. I think you've already, like I said, you've already kind of felt this because it's caused you a lot of mental anguish, pile number 3 is okay? With that Nine of Swords. I think maybe you're just hanging on right now, though, with that defend to the end, the worthwhile. Because of the sorrow of letting them go, okay? Let's see. Though, one thing I'm seeing with that Queen of Wands here, energy, is I think you have a lot more strength than you think you do. I think there's ways in that this relationship, or, like I said, it could be romantic or platonic, that the other person has kind of held you back in a certain way that when you're free from them, you're going to be a lot more confident and have a lot more power to do things that maybe you didn't have before. And the reason I say that is because when you look at this card really closely, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but this person here, she's worked her butt off cutting all and chopping all this wood, okay, preparing for the future. Hey, I gotta keep, the fuel going to keep the fire going so I'm warm at night, right? And this person's just sitting in the back with her coffee, okay? Yeah, she's just having a great time. She's just watching you do all the work, okay? I think it's that one of the reasons that this is coming to an end, pile number 3, is so that you are boosted and not so chained down by this person. So that you're more free to follow your passion. Okay, you have more power and confidence that maybe is not so good right now because of the influence of this other person upon you. So it's actually, this reading might look negative on the surface, but what it actually is unveiling that there's a positive reason and the positive end to what maybe looks bad on the surface, okay? That's how I'll put that for you, okay? So let's move on to the advice part of your reading, pile number 3s. Okay, maybe how to navigate this situation. A lot of really, really strong messages today in the piles. A lot of strong energies. Okay. Shuffle your tarot cards here. We'll clear the board. Yeah, things becoming clear. Okay. All right. Let's look at your advice cards in a second. And then, Spirit, for my lovely pile number 3s, could you give me 5 cards explaining advice on how to navigate this situation, or this thing that was hidden from them? Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and saying that one 5. Okay. Okay, your advice cards. Surrender, denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. Okay, so pile number 3s. One piece of advice to you from Spirit is to surrender denial in terms of what's actually how you feel about this relationship and what's going on in it. I think maybe there's a tendency to want to see it with more rose-tinted glasses, to see it more positively and optimistically. But deep, deep down, I think you maybe understand, and this is why I'm saying, or why I said before, I don't think this is a surprise to you, pile number 3s, because I think deep, deep down, you already kind of knew that something was different than the way that you portrayed it, okay, or the way that this other person portrayed themselves, I guess is maybe a better way to put that. Surrender, denial, okay? Accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties, okay? Really look closely at how this relationship actually makes you feel and, tally up the pros and the cons, okay? That's how I'll put that. Objectively. All right. Lantern Oracle, we have perspective. Number 39, a calm and clear mind is free to see differently. Yes, this is all about looking at things with a different perspective, pile number 3s, okay? I think what's going on, and I say this very lovingly, I'm saying this for your best interests and heart, pile number 3s. It's kind of what I said before. I think you're viewing this relationship with a lot more of a rose-tinted glasses than what's real, okay? And I'm not saying that to shake a finger at you, and neither is Spirit. It's just that Spirit and I both want what's best for you, okay? Okay, they want you to feel happy. They want you to feel like you're free. Like that quote I said earlier, excuse me, I keep clearing my throat. Like that quote I said earlier that my mom told my sister when she left a relationship when she was young, give yourself the chance for something better, okay? That is always a beautiful mantra I've always kind of lived my life by after I heard my mother say that to my sister, okay? Spirit wants you to have something better, okay? Contemplation, number 29. This is kind of like perspective. This is about taking time to yourself to really think deeply about it. Like I was saying before, weighing the pros and cons of this relationship or friendship, okay? I think maybe you don't really want to think about it because you're afraid of what you might realize, okay? And I'm not, like I said, it's not a finger wagging, shame on you. It's just more in terms of sometimes when things are painful, we just don't think about it because we know if we thought about it that we would realize how painful it actually is, okay? So take some time, reflect a little bit more on this, okay? Look at this relationship from different perspectives. Maybe even ask people that you trust in your life, hey, I think I might have an issue in this friendship or relationship. What do you think about it, okay? Different perspectives from people that aren't emotionally attached to the outcome, okay? All right. Let's look at your tarot cards. Number 1, we have temperance, balance, moderation. Okay. Being balanced in things. We have the 3 of sticks or wands. This is, I have plans for the future and I'm going to act them out. Okay, this is the actual action taking step stage of making plans for the future. I think part of the reason why Spirit is encouraging you to really reevaluate this relationship or friendship, pile number 3, is because I think this person might be holding you back in terms of your future, okay? That's where that 3 of wands comes out. I think you're ready to move on to something and they're not. And they've been kind of maybe weighing you down a little bit like an anchor, is the intuitive vibe I'm getting, okay? We have the 6 of sticks, or 6 of wands is victory, okay? Triumph over things. Okay. That's interesting. I think you see the future clearly and they don't. That's what I'm being told intuitively. Okay. The 8 of wands. Okay. 8 of wands is about speed. Something being done speedily. Okay. Which is this card, the particular art for this is beavers creating a dam. So I don't know what that has to do with speed, but traditionally that's what the 8 of wands means, is speed. Something happening. It's like wands coming down from the sky like a meteor shower almost, okay? And then last but not least, we have lovely the 10 of cups, emotional fulfillment. Yeah, so pile number 3s, okay? Okay, this reading has been not maybe like the happiest sunshine and rainbows so far. But what I want to tell you right now is, because you did get this at the end, this is the 10 of cups, literally, there's a rainbow in it, right? The 10 of cups is the card of emotional fulfillment. This means that there is greater happiness for you elsewhere after this time. After this, okay? So don't despair. People come and go from our lives often. And just know that there is a lot more positive outcome for your future, even if letting go of this particular stage of your life is hard, okay? That's what I want to say to you with that card. So anyways, to summarize your advice, pile number 3s, like, we already talked about surrender, denial. I won't repeat that particular section again because we already talked about it, right? We already talked about different perspectives, gain outside perspectives on this relationship or this friendship. How do other people view this, right? Like it says, a calm and clear mind is free to see differently. maybe even separate yourself from this person just a little bit while you're in the stage of contemplation and thinking about it from different perspectives, okay? If you give yourself some distance and time away from this particular person, you might find that your perspective changes and you realize, okay, maybe things weren't as great as I thought they were, okay? That type of thing. Interestingly, we have the Three of Wands here. Like I said, when that popped out, that's the card of actually making action in terms of plans that you made for the future. Focus on your future, pile number 3s, okay? Maybe like specifically if this is a romantic relationship that maybe you're pondering over letting go, okay? Focus on, your future with somebody else, or focus on your future in terms of, specifically with it being the wands, that's the suit of fire, which is, passion and willpower and creativity, confidence in things. I almost think maybe there's a period of time coming where you're going to focus more on what you want out of life. Like I was saying before, I think this person maybe has kind of been holding you back a little bit. And I think you find a lot of success in that, especially with that 6 of Wands here being right next to that 3 of Wands, okay? Because it's literally taking a step towards the future, success, right? Those 2 cards right next to each other, fantastic to get together, right? It'd also bring a lot more balance to your life too. Focus on where you can bring more balance to your life with Temperance here. Like I said, that's the card of moderation. I almost see maybe a time of just a little bit more solitary, not isolation, it's more of a negative connotation, but maybe a little more time of who am I outside of this relationship or friendship? A time that explores that question, okay? Explore that question. Who are you outside of this friendship or relationship, okay? That's another piece of advice here from Spirit. And then same thing with 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is, like I said, that's the card about speed, okay? That's the card, interpreting it for this particular reading, I would say sooner rather than later, because that is the card of something happening quickly. Or maybe the thing that you realize that'll come out that makes this all the more clear for you will happen a lot faster than you expect. Like we talked about earlier with the moon being reversed, it was like, oh, illusions coming to the surface, illusions being broken, okay? So expect, maybe this to come on more quickly than you thought it would, okay? But just know that no matter what, pile number 3 is, that 10 of Cups is a promise of emotional fulfillment in the future after this time. If you can just, whatever this relationship is, romantic or platonic, could be, like I said, a partner or a friend. Could even be a family member. Maybe there's a family member of yours that isn't being the best to you, right? There's a promise here, though, that as long as you really reflect on it and you realize what the true nature of this relationship actually is, and you learn to let it go, there's a better, happy, emotional fulfillment future for you beyond this time of hardship, okay? Literally, this is one of the most positive cards you can get in the entire tarot deck, is the 10 of Cups, okay? Like I always say, it's the Sunshine and Rainbows card. Happily ever after, okay? It's just that you have to let go of what is to pave the way for what could be. Like I said, that was that quote my mother told my sister. Give yourself the chance for something better, okay? That is the best advice I can give you for this particular situation, pile 3. So to summarize, apologies for a little bit more of a negative reading today, but I always keep it real on my channel, what cards pop out, okay? You can always feel assured that with my readings, I keep it as real as the cards pop out. I don't sugarcoat. But I do say things for your best interest and heart based on what comes out. So to summarize, like I said, some relationship in your life isn't maybe as great as you thought it was, okay? I think the cracks are already showing. I don't think this should be a surprise to you, pile number 3 is. I think you've already kind of deep down know, maybe something's not so great here, right? Could be romantic, could be platonic, could be a family relationship even. And Spirit is advising you to at least consider letting this relationship go, because there's a lot better for you out there if you do, okay? Look for outside perspectives from other people objectively. What do they think about it? Take some time alone to weigh the pros and cons, okay? And focus on your own future and your own success, okay? And just know that after this time of hardship, there is that 10 of Cups waiting for you of happiness, okay? So pile number 3 is, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Just be assured that everything will be fine in the end. Everything will work out the way it's supposed to. You're spiritually protected. Spirit wants what's best for you. Okay? I hope to see you in another reading. And yeah, did I already say I wish you a wonderful rest of your day? If I didn't, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.